Hey, this is Knitting Brow. I have just finished a project while I'm at my sister Joanne's house, and it is the Baktus. I'll block it later. And I use the Noro Sock Yarn, or the Noro Kureyon Sock Yarn, in the color S149 Lot A. You can't see that, but I'll put a link in that in the blog. So at about 3:30 this morning, Joe and I were looking at this, and I have discovered a dropped stitch. And it's really kind of annoying because the drop stitch, and I discovered it about right here, so I had gotten that much done. And I knew I had a couple of options. One was to drop down all the way, pick it up, and go all the way back up with that. The problem with that is it would be a little tight. I didn't want to do that. The other option would be to frog this all the way back and then start over. Not that much knitting. So what I'm going to do is I will actually weave in, do duplicate stitch on that, and leave ends so that after I block it, I will be able to snip it so that it looks good. I'm really pleased with this. I like the colors quite a bit. We were also trying to figure the repeat, and we think the person who loaded the yarn or the roving in did it backwards. It was kind of weird. So enjoy your colorful loops of daily living. Bye.
Hi, I'm back with part 2 of the information about this scarf. Now, I have been mispronouncing it. It's the Baktus scarf. B-A-K-T-U-S. I'll put a link in the show notes about where you can find it on Ravelry. And so I was calling it the Baktus, but I think it's the Baktus. I have finished it, and it's beautiful. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Show it this way. Okay, it's beautiful yarn. This again is the Noro Sock Yarn, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to wear it. It's just going to go around like this, and it'll be quite nice. And I'm really pleased with it. I like the way it blocked out, and it did block much larger than what I was expecting, but that's okay. Now these things, these little ends here, I think what I'm going to do is add some beads or something like that to them. It'll add a nice little detail there. So I was showing this to my friend Kat tonight as I was knitting with her, and she was very excited. It's a very easy sort of scarf, and she wants to cast one on. Well, I do have to correct something. This is not the Baktus, which is supposed to be the scarf, same pattern, knit in garter stitch, knit every row. It is the Karius, K-A-R-I-U-S scarf, because it's knit in stockinette, which is knit one side, purl one side. So I've had to correct that. So I was really pleased with it. I would give it a good recommendation. And one of the cool things is that, remember how I was telling you I had that nice little hole, that drop stitch? Really, you can't see it. You can't see it in the scarf itself. I'll get up a little closer because your discerning eyes will be able to see the weirdness. It's right there. But overall, it turned out pretty good. What I did is I did leave ends after I did the duplicate stitch. I left about 2 to 3 inches of end on the purl side, on either end, so that when I blocked it out and I stretched it, I still had plenty of space, and that worked beautifully. Well, I'm actually pretty pleased with this. And I have cast on another one, and it's again out of the Noro Kureyon Sock, because I am not knitting socks with these. Here's the details about that. I hope you can see that. It's pretty cool. I did something different, however. I am going to make the Baktus, which is the garter stitch, but I separated the skeins into 2 equal balls. And I am changing balls every 2 rows. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me a nice little stripe there. I'm pretty pleased with how that works so far. Now, the good thing about this is that since it really is from one skein of yarn, the colors will all coordinate, though it will look stripy. I don't think I'll have to block this one as much because of the garter stitch. It'll feel a little heavier. So I wanted to give you that update. It turned out very nicely. Consider making one of these. These are pretty easy. Now, there is a lacy version of this on Ravelry, which is quite lovely. I would consider doing that, but not with the Noro, because I just don't want to do that with the Noro right now. I might do that with some other sock yarn. So, enjoy your colorful loops of daily living. Bye.